Hi, everybody. I got a great question about how to pick a home group. In fact, I just love the question. She left it on I told you the other day that someone had left me a voice message, and I was trying to figure out how to play it for you so you could hear her ask the question because she didn't say her name, and then I could answer it, but I'm not that tech savvy. So I'll tell you what she said. She said that she's been going to Zoom meetings, and some Zoom meetings are exactly what I've said, where they're really reading out of the big book and they're really trying to help you find an answer and show you the solution. And other ones are kind of like a high school party, right? They're just screwing around and there's really no format and it's kind of out of control. And that is, I think that's just like any other meeting. Zoom is kind of a new thing. And I know from my own group, when the pandemic hit, our group, it happened so fast. First we heard like this was kind of happening and we didn't think it was really happening to us. And, I think everybody on the planet kind of thought that. It was kind of like the news. And then all of a sudden it was like, we're going to shut down. Like, this is what's happening. We're thinking of shutting down. And we were like, shutting down. So first thing we did was we shut out the coffee service. And we quit making coffee. We took all the creams and sugars. We do cream and sugar on the tables. We took everything off the tables. We closed down the kitchen and the bathroom so people were touching things less. This was before they even told us to wear masks. So we just kind of did that first of all, not knowing anything. And then all of a sudden our city shut down. And in Palm Springs, our mayor was very, on the cautious side. So we shut down and it was like that. We were out of meetings. And I came home and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, what are we going to do? I mean, it's bad enough to live with an alcoholic mind, but to live with an alcoholic mind shut in a house with only, maybe somebody else. I actually was working, I was taking care of a woman and she was sick. She had just had surgery on March 13th, like life and death surgery. I mean, this was just crazy. And I thought, how am I going to do this without meetings? So a friend of mine invited me to a meeting in LA on Zoom, and I went and I was like, oh my God, we've got to do this right now. I think they were one of the first groups that kind of got going. And so I got on Zoom. I joined Zoom, and I figured it out, and I kind of figured it out. And then I called some of the people in my meeting and said, let's try this. I'm going to go on today at 5:30, my regular time for the meeting, and join me. And they did. And then I thought, oh my God, I got to do the format. So I kind of created the format from the club room. I drove over to the club room, let myself in and kind of copied the format, changing it for Zoom. And then we got on there and we read only out of the big books. So that was easy enough. And then I started like implementing everything in the club room. Like our group conscience is the last Thursday of the month. Last Saturday of the month, we celebrate all the birthdays. So we had birthday night and everybody's like, no way, this is never going to work. And it worked and we did it. And my group stepped forward and people started hosting the meetings and we kind of came up with a plan and it was all really organic. And we hit a lot of bumps along the way. Now we have people in our group now from all over the country. We're a back to basics group. And we actually have had people all over the world come to our meetings and find an answer. We take people through the steps. That's our big thing is we take people through the steps as a group. And we were able to do that after the meeting. So after the meeting's over, you stay after and we take you through step one. We have an app that has our step sheets on it and everything. So we're very organized. We're built to help. That's what we are. So we got this thing going and then sure enough, we hit problems. We had younger people come on and, want to change their photo. So I disabled the photo option. They were putting up crazy stuff. And I thought, oh God, pretty soon we're going to have some pictures of naked women or something on there, men, So we took that off and then people changed their names to crazy names. And I was like, God, we're supposed to be making this. So it's really for the newcomer. Can we stop, and that's just normal in groups is people want to change things, right? Just recently, we had a big brouhaha because new people wanted to change the format of what we do. And our group's been together now for 30 years, and it's a very strong group. And we have groups in other areas, and we're just very big book, oriented. And we only pray the third step and the 7-step prayer. We don't even do the serenity prayer because it's not out of the book. So, it's a rigid group, but that's why people come, because it's really set up for people that haven't been able to get sober anywhere else, or people like me with long-term sobriety that relapsed and had to come back. It's really a grassroots meat and potato kind of group, and we don't screw around. We have a lot of other AA groups that bring people and drop them off to us and say, can you help this person? We can't get them sober, So that's the way we are. And people started wanting to change that. And our old timers are very passionate about what's going on. And we are not going to let 30 years of experience, turn into a high school party, like she said. So we're a little bit different, you know what I mean? And there was a big fight. The new people didn't like that we said, stick to the format. We don't do that here. So it was a big deal. It was a big problem. And there's always been problems like that. Alcoholics Anonymous started in 1935. The first meeting started in Bill's house and Bob's house and people's houses and living rooms. And there was, I think one guy killed himself upstairs and they were setting mattresses on fire. And, alcoholics and addicts are a handful. And the whole idea that Alcoholics Anonymous has been able to stay together for 85 years or whatever it's been now, 87 years. I don't know. I'll have to do the math. I haven't thought about it for a little bit, but it's amazing. And it's due to the traditions. And the traditions say that each group can do whatever they want. So in this question was, how do you find a good home group? So that being said, how do you find a good home group if every group gets to do what they want to do? You know what I mean? If every group is autonomous, what do? Look for big book studies. Usually big book studies are no-nonsense people. There's not partiers in there. Remember the first time I got sober, I never wanted to go to big book studies. I was like, yawn. I want to go to where, of course I was very young, so I wanted to go where the good-looking guys were and the action was, and people were going to smoke outside and chit-chat and go have coffee afterwards, right? But you want to find a group that reads out of the big book. Now, the answers are in the first 164 pages of the book. They're not in the back. The back is for people, especially now with the pandemic. It was very helpful to people to have the stories to read in the back. And the back is good information, but the actual program of recovery is in that first 164 pages. So you want to find people that are reading out of that. Now, how do you do that? If you get a big book, if you go to AA.org, alcoholicsanonymous.org, whatever it is, where they have tons of listings anymore. You can also get on these Facebook pages of AA groups. There's AA Women, there's Friends of Bill and Bob's. I just joined that one. And they always post meetings up there. You go to a big book study and then you talk to those people, right? During the chat, those people will put in the chat meetings coming up. Now, if you're already in a group of serious people that are reading out of the big book, they're only going to meetings that are serious meetings. So that's what you want to do. And then you want to try them out. Okay. Then you're going to find one if you can, where you can go. My group is, like I said, really different. So we actually meet 3 times a day on Zoom, morning, afternoon, and evening, because it's too hard to try to tell somebody, don't drink between meetings, Our next meeting is next Thursday, shit. But if you tell someone don't drink between meetings and they only have to make it to noon, they got a better chance. So find one where they meet consistently, maybe not once a week, maybe, or if it's your Tuesday night big book study, find a Wednesday big book study and a Thursday. When you're new, you should go to a meeting every day. I'm not new anymore, and I still go to 2 or 3 meetings a day, 2 minimal. 1 in the morning, because I wake up with full-blown alcoholism, and 1 at night. because I want to be there to be helpful to people. And usually new people come at night because they don't want to get up early. That's the other thing. Early meetings are where the serious people are at. It might piss some of you off, but that's just my experience. So you want to go every day or as close every day, and you want to stick with the meeting. If you find a meeting you like, stay there. Okay? Because you want to get to know these people and you want them to get to know you. Get involved. Ask if you can do a reading. Ask how you can participate. Share. Get involved. Zoom is a little harder because there's no trash cans to empty and, tables to wipe, chairs to fold. But there's work to be done. They need help. So ask if you can be helpful, get involved, get some names and numbers, and stay there. Now, people are going to piss you off, and people are going to upset you, and you're going to fight. That's just the way alcoholics are. And I talked about this in one of my videos. Maybe it hasn't posted yet, but I talk about that. And it seems to be during the slow times when there's not a lot of new people to help that we really fight amongst ourselves. But that's where you're going to learn about alcoholism. You're not going to learn about alcoholism alone, sitting on your couch, right? Contemplating your own navel and justifying and rationalizing your own bullshit. You're going to see it in people that piss you off and bother you, and you're going to see them be alcoholic, and then you're going to go, oh my God, I do that too, right? I have that. That's why meetings are so important, because they keep you out of that delusion. They keep you in a current state of, wow, I'm sick. Like, I'm sick, and I am in the right place. I'm with sick people. I always say it's not the country club. AA is not the country club. So don't go there looking for people behaving well. It's not going to happen. I don't care how much time you have. Alcoholism is alcoholism. It's not alcoholism. It's alcoholism. So go to meetings, go to big book studies, and study the big book. It's so interesting. It's so amazing that this organic book still applies in 2021. I just can't believe it, right? So that's my suggestion on finding a home group. And if you need better meetings, ask. Ask people in the meetings. Ask the old timer. Where are some good meetings, right? Where's the meetings where I can go through the steps? Where's the meetings where they're reading out of the big book? It'll happen. You'll get it, right? Most people are avoiding those meetings. You want to run to those meetings, okay? Run to it like your hair is on fire, because it is. Have a great day.